Imagine earning more money than you ever thought you would. $100,000 a year. Maybe $150,000. Maybe even $200,000. You have the good job, the nice house, the vacations, the restaurants, the upgraded lifestyle. From the outside, you've made it. But every month, something strange happens. The paycheck arrives, and almost all of it already belongs to someone else. The mortgage, the credit cards, childcare, insurance, subscriptions, student loans, taxes, the vacation you're still paying for. And suddenly you realize something terrifying. You have a high income, but almost no financial freedom. You're rich on paper, but broke in reality. And this is the high-income poverty trap. For decades, we've been taught to measure financial success with one number: income. Someone making $200,000 must be richer than someone making $80,000, right? Not necessarily, because income tells you how much money passes through your hands. It does not tell you how much you keep. It doesn't tell you how much you owe. It doesn't tell you how expensive your lifestyle has become. And most importantly, it doesn't tell you how long you could survive if that income suddenly stopped. That's where the illusion begins. Imagine two households. Household A makes $90,000 a year. They live in a modest home. Their major debts are manageable. They save consistently. They keep cash for emergencies. They invest every month. They don't look particularly wealthy. Now imagine household B. They make $180,000, twice as much. They upgraded their home when the salary increased. Their children are in more expensive activities, vacations became better, restaurants became more frequent, the wardrobe improved, the subscriptions multiplied, their monthly fixed expenses exploded. Household B looks richer, but if both households lost their income tomorrow, Household A might survive for months. Household B might start panicking before the next mortgage payment. So who is actually wealthier? That's the question most people never ask. And right now, American households are carrying an enormous amount of financial obligation. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, total U.S. household debt stood at roughly $18.77 trillion in the second quarter of 2026. Credit card balances alone were approximately $1.26 trillion, while total mortgage debt was more than $13.1 trillion. Now, debt itself doesn't automatically mean someone is financially irresponsible. A mortgage can help build ownership. Education can increase earning potential. Credit can be useful. But debt becomes dangerous when your lifestyle requires your future income just to maintain your present appearance. And that's what makes the high-income trap so deceptive. You don't feel poor. You feel successful. Until something changes. Maybe you get a raise, and logically that should solve the problem. If you go from $80,000 to $110,000, you should have more breathing room. But then something psychological happens. The old apartment suddenly feels too small. The perfectly functional furniture starts looking cheap. Economy flights become uncomfortable. The neighborhood that once seemed good enough suddenly isn't. The restaurants change, the clothes change, the expectations change. And before long, your lifestyle has absorbed the raise. This is lifestyle inflation. But the dangerous part isn't buying nicer things. The dangerous part is turning temporary income growth into permanent monthly obligations, because it's easy to stop going to expensive restaurants. It's harder to instantly reduce a mortgage. It's easy to cancel a vacation. It's harder to eliminate years of finance commitments. Every permanent expense reduces the amount of your paycheck that actually belongs to you. And that's how someone can receive a huge salary and still feel trapped. The latest government data gives us another clue. The Bureau of Economic Analysis reported that the personal savings rate was just 2.7% in June 2026. Think about how small that margin is. Because the difference between appearing wealthy and becoming wealthy is often hidden in that gap between what you earn and what you consume. A high-income household earning $15,000 a month but spending $14,700 isn't automatically building wealth faster than a household earning $7,000 and consistently investing $1,500. Income creates potential. Margin creates wealth, and when your margin disappears, your salary becomes a treadmill. You have to keep running just to maintain the same position. This is where high earners can become especially vulnerable. When you're earning a lot of money, people assume you don't have money problems. Sometimes even you assume that. So instead of asking, can we really afford this? The question becomes, why shouldn't we afford this? We make good money. That's a dangerous sentence, because almost any income can be consumed. Make $60,000, there's a lifestyle for $60,000. Make $150,000, there's a lifestyle for $150,000. Make $500,000, there's absolutely a lifestyle capable of consuming that too. There's no salary large enough to compensate permanently for uncontrolled lifestyle expansion. And then comes the number that exposes everything: your emergency runway. The Federal Reserve's latest household survey found that only 63% of adults said they could cover a $400 emergency using cash, savings, or a credit card they would pay off immediately. And 59% of adults experienced at least one major unexpected expense during the previous year. That's why the real test of wealth isn't, what do you earn? It's, what happens when something goes wrong? If losing one paycheck creates panic, if an unexpected bill has to go straight onto debt, if maintaining your lifestyle requires every dollar of next month's income, then your impressive salary may be hiding a fragile financial system. This is also why high income can sometimes create something even more dangerous: golden handcuffs. At first, your salary gives you freedom. Then your lifestyle adjusts to the salary, and suddenly you can't leave. You hate the job, but the mortgage needs it. You're exhausted, but the lifestyle needs it. You want to start a business, but your monthly obligations are too high. You want to take 6 months off, but 6 months without income would destroy the system. The salary that was supposed to give you options has become the thing you cannot afford to lose. That isn't financial freedom. That's dependence with better furniture. And social media makes the problem worse because we constantly compare visible consumption. You see someone's house, you don't see their mortgage balance. You see their vacation, you don't see how they paid for it. You see the expensive restaurant, you don't see the savings account. You see the promotion announcement, you don't see the stress that came with it. The internet allows us to display almost every sign of spending while hiding almost every sign of financial fragility. That's why someone making $200,000 can look wildly successful while secretly wondering how they will make it through the month. And someone else driving an old car, living in a smaller home, and wearing the same clothes for years can quietly accumulate hundreds of thousands of dollars. One looks rich, the other is becoming rich. Those are very different things. Real wealth is surprisingly boring. It's money nobody sees. It's the emergency fund sitting untouched. It's the investment contribution that happens automatically every month. It's the debt you no longer owe. It's resisting the upgrade even though you could qualify for it. It's having enough margin that an unexpected expense is annoying, not catastrophic. It's being able to leave a terrible job, take time with your family, change careers, start a business, or simply sleep at night without calculating whether every payment will clear. That is what money is supposed to buy. Not just more things, more control. So if your income rises, don't immediately ask, what can I upgrade? Ask a better question. How much freedom can I buy with this raise? Could you increase your emergency fund? Could you invest more? Could you eliminate a monthly payment? Could you buy back time? Could you create enough margin that losing your job would be inconvenient instead of terrifying? Because the biggest financial mistake high earners make isn't earning too little. It's allowing every increase in income to become an increase in lifestyle. Eventually, you can reach a point where you're earning more money than 90% of the people around you and still feel like you're barely keeping up. The high-income poverty trap isn't really about poverty. It's about the difference between earning money and owning your life. A big salary can make you look successful, but if every dollar is already committed, if every raise creates another expense, if every luxury depends on the next paycheck arriving exactly on time, then the number on your salary isn't telling the full story. Because wealth isn't the size of the paycheck, it's the distance between your income and the lifestyle required to keep you happy. And sometimes the person with the smaller house, the cheaper lifestyle, the larger savings account, and fewer things to prove is far richer than the person everyone assumes has made it. So don't ask yourself, do I look successful? Ask, how much of my life do I actually own? Because being rich on paper can impress everyone around you, but having money, time, options, and freedom, that's what being rich feels like in reality.